here. Did you guys get some notification that it's recording?
Yeah, it's up in the top left.
I'm going to share my screen. Boom, we're in the terminal. So I created a folder called Pokemon Power Party. What I'm not going to do, just for the record in this lesson, what I'm not going to do is go super slow and explain everything and make sure that everybody understands every step. That's for later. That's what you guys got to do on your own. What I'm going to do is kind of code it in front of you. You can ask some questions, but if it's going too slow, I'm going to try and push it forward a little so that way we get a good bit done. All right, so can y'all see my screen?
Yes, sir. Okay,
so I'm in a folder called Pokemon Power Party. In this folder, I created a front end, and now we're going to create a back end. I'm going to do that by typing in, who knows what I'm going to type in?
Rails new -- API and then the name.
It's actually Rails new and then the name and then -- API at the end, unless there's a syntax that I don't know.
I think both are fine. I've done both. Kyle did one and
Let's
one
try
of
it. API, and we'll call it, I'm just calling it backend because I'm already in a folder, right? So, yeah, I guess that works. Look at that, you learn something new every day. And then for me, I open that up, typing in code, backend. Bam. Looks like that worked. Cool. Who knows the command to pull up a terminal like that in VS Code?
Control back.
Yep. Yeah, I love that command. I figured I'd share. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the relationship that we have to have here. So we want Pokemon and powers. Now, the way that it was on my code challenge, it was kind of a weird problem statement. In other words, this problem statement said that each power can have multiple heroes, but each hero can only have one power, which to me doesn't make sense because, like Superman has like every fucking power you could possibly imagine. But either way, point is we're going to do it that way because that's the way my challenge was. Maybe they'll change it. I don't know. But so for our assumption, we're going to do starting Pokemon. So starting Pokemon they technically start with 2. Just ignore that part. They start with 1 move, and a bunch of different starting Pokemon can have, like the same move. So for example, like a Rattata is not technically a starting Pokemon, but it has Tackle. Charmander has Scratch. Bulbasaur has Tackle. That's how we're going to kind of set this up here. So first of all, who can tell me what I'm going to do? What's the first thing I'm going to do?
Enable cores.
That's a great start because I kind of forgot about that. So to enable cores, we're going to go in. We're going to go to our, oh my gosh, I forgot.
Should be in config.
Yes. Initializers?
Yep.
Excuse me. Jeez. Then we're going to go to our gem file. Find cores. I don't know what I'm choking on. And we're going to do. Step 2, Justin.
You got to. Gee, I don't even know.
So
my mind right now.
So we're gonna have 2 models, right?
Hey, John. Greg's in the waiting room. If you want to let him in. Yeah, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, fuck. Every time I try to pull up Zoom, it's always weird. Hang on a second.
Dan says he's in there too.
Okay. Tell them I apologize. Wow. The problem is that the menus change. So it's like the second I'm sharing the screen, all the menus look different.
Facts.
And I don't do this very often, so. Participants. Shit. You. Show manage participants. There we go. Alrighty, for those joining, you are not too far behind. All that we did was we enabled cores and haven't done anything else in a new Rails backend. So that's it. So the next thing that we're going to do, so our models are what? What are our two models going to be? And what type of relationship is it?
Pokemon and moves, is it?
Pokemon and moves, sure. I called them powers. They totally should have been called moves. You're 100% right on that. So how are you going to create those data structures for that?
Start by doing a resource, Rails G resource, and then like Pokemon or something.
Perfect. Rails G. So which one do we want to make first and why? Well, it doesn't really matter which one you're setting up your migration first, but I think that maybe you can answer what I'm asking regardless. Better question might be which one is going to reference the other one and why?
So I think the moves are going to reference the Pokemon. So you want to do the Pokemon first.
Why do you think the moves are going to reference the Pokemon?
Because we're doing a one-to-many relationship where like one Pokemon can have many moves and one
So
can have...
The only reason why I'm actually kind of throwing a curveball in and saying that in the example that we're making, one move can actually have many Pokemon. So it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be counterintuitive, but that's more like what the code challenge was for me. And I think being able to stretch your brain like that is probably good. But it also can make sense, right? Like different Pokemon can know tackle, right? Different Pokemon can know scratch or something like that. So for now, we're going to set it up that way if that's cool with you. So I'm going to type, but that makes sense to me too. And in reality, what you would want is a many-to-many relationship. But for sake of simplicity, we're going to do it this way now. We're going to say, so you had the right idea though. You're right that if one Pokemon had many moves, then moves would reference Pokemon. But instead, Pokemon is going to reference moves because one move has many Pokemons, but not vice versa. So what we're going to say is Rails G resource. What goes next? I would start with moves because it's not referencing anything. So moves, and then let's just keep it simple and give it just a name, right? So how do I specify that it's a name?
You can just put name.
Yeah. Now, do I need to type in something like that?
Not for strings.
Right, exactly. And then maybe if
isn't move supposed to be singular?
Oh yeah.
It doesn't matter. Oh, I don't think it actually matters.
I think
we can do move. But yeah, and then we can go moves. I think the pluralizer automatically figures that out, but it might not though, because moves is actually also can be used in a different way. Someone is typing on a mechanical
keyboard. So
sorry about that. I'll turn it off.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, guys.
What are our models again? What are we doing? I know you said Pokemon. I came in a little late. What are we?
We are making a Pokemon backend. So right now we haven't even created the first model. All that we've done is we've created Justin.
Oh, sorry. I literally, it won't happen again.
Okay. So basically, we created a Pokemon backend. All we did was fix cores, and now we're getting into making the models. So I'm gonna say Rails G resource move, and then let's give it a name and like a type, right? Like it could be. Well, they're all gonna. No, I'm not gonna do type just because I know how this is gonna work out. But let's go name and like strength or something like that. I don't know. And then both of those, well, strength can be. What would strength be if it's gonna be like a number, like
Integer.
bam. I don't know why that's taking so long. Yeah. That's really bizarre. It's never taken that long for me to do that.
Because you didn't do the bundle install for the rack cores.
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, I thought I was doing that.
Yeah, and that's all. That has nothing to do with what this is. So, what the fuck? I'm just gonna cancel it and try it again. Rails G resource.
Try a capital M.
That doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
I did that right before. I'm just gonna type in string for whatever reason. String. It's gonna be. What the flip? That should take 2 seconds. This is strange. There's, I think, something going wrong with my computer. Let me try closing some stuff.
When we do it in class, we don't name the traits of the model in the Rails G resource. We just do Rails G resource move, and then you could edit all of them later. I
think it's definitely more efficient to do it this way. I might have to close Slack.
You might, just because of the recording too, probably slowing it down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Cool.
Wondering if maybe I should get people to like turn off their videos or something.
There you go.
No, I pressed Control C.
Oh.
Just try doing it without the specs. Just do it like Rails G resource move.
That's not going to change anything, I don't think.
I think it will work if you do that.
No, because I do it his way all the time. It looks fine.
Yeah, mine took 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
String. Let's just try that. I don't know why. What the fuck? This is great timing.
Where did you create the Rails API? You said it was like created within a file structure. Is it trying to open up everything?
Yeah,
so
your master.
Right now. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna delete that whole thing and just try again. I don't know why that's doing that, so I'm gonna just, for the sake of time. And now, if anybody wasn't caught up, now you can be. So I'm gonna type in Rails new backend API. Code backend. And then I'll go back to cores in a little. Let's try to make sure that works though. Rails G resource move name string rank. Oops, daisies. Wow. This is really bizarre. I've never had that happen to me. I'm wondering if maybe people can try muting their videos so that way maybe there's like less computer processing taken up. I don't know if that would help.
John, I think you need to be in that actual folder. Like, aren't you in your master branch right now?
Nope. Well, I'm in backend, so this is my Rails project. You see how it says backend there? So
yeah.
That means I'm in there.
Oh, gotcha.
Good guesses though. Like you could see, I even had checked that before to see if I could start like a Rails server, and it let me. Like when I typed in Rails S, like right now it's not going to work, but like if I type in Rails S, it runs a Rails server. Like, see, that's working. But then,
Strange.
for some reason, when I do the Rails G resource, I mean, I could try the Rails G model, see if that
Yeah, I
works.
was gonna say maybe just try it the slow way.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna look like an idiot when I go back and try and do all that stuff, but we'll find out. Move, and then we're gonna say name, string, see if that works. My Rails G is just not working. That's so weird. Rails G resource, move. Maybe I'll try generate. I don't know if that would fix it. I doubt it would. Yeah, nothing's working. Let me go ahead and try. I apologize, guys. That has not even happened ever. It was.
No, you're all good. Don't worry.
Let me just try quitting VS Code. Try quitting my terminal. Terminal. VS Code. Quit Visual Studio Code. What else could I try quitting? That's bizarre.
It kind of seems like since everything else is working at like a normal speed, that something else is going on, you know, that it's not necessarily your processing power.
Yeah, I'm wondering if
Yeah.
there's some like weird internal loop.
So there's a thread on Stack Overflow about it not working, and it says to go into the delete the bin file, the bin directory,
Yeah.
and then run rake app update or update bin.
Really? You go into the
Oh.
bin? You go into the
That's just what this thread says. I don't know if it's worth it.
where? Can you send that over the chat, please? If I can pull up the chat and Zoom. Oh my goodness. Well, the good news is that I'd be happy to continue this for like 4 hours. So, not that you guys would be.
I'm down.
I'm gonna be studying all day anyways, so doesn't matter to me.
No chat. Damn. So what this is saying is you migrate route table. I wonder if I run Rails DB create, that would help.
Did that.
Resource. Yeah, that's not working still. So they're saying it's most likely that the generated bin stubs of Rails are the issue. As you mentioned, you renamed the project. Oh, I have to rename the project?
No, I think they're saying that person that had the problem renamed it.
Yeah. Generates bin stubs for all. Okay, we'll try that. Bundle, install, bin stubs. Bundle, bin stubs. Wait, oh. Oh, I have to delete my whole bin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Move to trash. And then I have to type in rake app. Well, we'll learn something new every day.
Maybe.
This works. Rails generate resource. Oh, wait. John. It worked. Look at that. Thank you so much. You are the greatest. What is your name?
Chris.
Chris? You are the greatest. Everybody give Chris a round of applause. I'm doing it.
Chris, nice work.
Hey, a broken clock.
Chris.
A broken clock's right twice a day.
Yeah, there you go. Don't talk about yourself like you're a broken clock. All right, so here we go. Now back to it. Rails generate resource. We're gonna start with move, and we're gonna say name is a string, and we're going to say power. It's going to be an integer. Bam. Now we're gonna go Rails G Pokemon, and we're gonna say name is going to be string. I always do the long syntax. I know I can shorten it and just write name, but I don't. And then what else will the Pokemon have? What's one thing the Pokemon has to have?
Power.
Reference the move.
Power. And what is power's data type going to be?
Integer.
Integer.
References.
Oh.
I don't know why I don't make this bigger. Bam. So now we're going to look in our database. Seeds. Well, not seeds. We're going to look at our things, our models, and oh, that's John. Oh, did I not create? Where's Pokemon? Oh, it didn't work.
You didn't write Rails G resource.
That's why. Yeah, I'm dumb. We're gonna go alt. Bam. Woo.
Doesn't it need to reference the move table?
You're right. I was thinking it was power, the power table. Look at that teamwork. Move references. Bam. Okay, so now what I like to do is I like to seed my data. So I like to make sure that everything's kind of working. So first of all, at the beginning of every seed file, what's good to have there? I like having destroys in the beginning. But let's say I want to destroy moves and I want to destroy Pokemon. Which one do I want to destroy first?
You want to destroy Pokemon first.
Why?
Because it has the foreign keys in it, and you need to get rid of the table of foreign keys before you can get rid of the table.
Exactly.
That is referencing, or you know what I mean.
Yep, perfect. Then we're gonna have to start creating some Pokemon. This will be fun. And each of our Pokemon has a name and a power. We'll start with creating our moves. So our move just has a name and a power level, which are going to be low power levels because we're doing starting Pokemon. So let's go tackle equals move dot create, and then its name is going to be tackle, and then it's called it power, right? Power is going to be 2. I don't know what the rating scale is in Pokemon, so we're just going to do a really ugly looking thing here. And why is my button not working? Well, what? Oh, I'm forgetting something. That's why. And let's create 3 moves. Let's go tackle. We'll do Scratch, and the infamous tail whip. Nobody likes tail whip. Oh. Cool. Now we're going to create some Pokemon. So I don't know if you noticed, but here I have variables set. So I'm saying this variable equals this new move. This variable equals this new move. And the only reason why I'm setting it up that way is so that way I can plug it into the Pokemon. But I don't actually need to set the Pokemon up with a variable. I could just say Pokemon equals move. I don't know why I capitalize things. Pokemon equals Pokemon.create name. What's the first Pokemon we're going with? It's got to be starter, kind of starter. Doesn't have to be like starter, but like Pallet Town.
Squirtle.
Squirtle. And then power. Squirtle starts with tackle. Yeah. And notice how I'm putting the object.
Move.
Right? What?
Move, not power, right?
Shit. I did this whole example before where instead of using move, I use power. So I'm going to make that mistake a bunch of times, guaranteed. I don't know why I called that Pokemon. I would call it Squirtle.
So you said you didn't have to set that variable?
Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm even setting the variable. You're right. Yeah. Sorry about that.
But you could, it just wouldn't like do.
Yeah, you could. You just don't have to. It doesn't matter. Pokemon.create is like a thing that happens. In other words, the way that I think about it is that line is saying create a Pokemon. Now it has a return for if you declare about if you declare it, which is it returns that object that it created if you want it to, but it's still just it's a line of code that interacts with database and does something, right? So let's go Squirtle, Charmander. What's Charmander's main move? I think it's Scratch, right? Yeah. And then go Rattata. What am I missing here? Oh. I apparently not working. There we go. Scratch. Let's go Rattata. How do you spell it? Just call it rat. Tail whip. And then we'll do another one with tackle, so that way we are actually illustrating what we said. We'll say, what other Pokemon? Bulbasaur. Tackle. Bam. How do I get these things to seed? How do I run my seed file?
Rails DB seed.
Boom. Kablamo. So now how do I get this one-to-many relationship working? In fact, let's do a better thing and just check to see that it is working. Because it might be. Hint, hint, it's not. But if you type in Rails C, this is my favorite way of checking like what's going on as far as like what the databases are doing. So when I'm in here, I could be like, okay, let me look at all my Pokemon. So I type in Pokemon.all. Bam, that did not work. Did I run Rails DBC? Oh, I didn't migrate.
Run the migration.
Yeah. Rails DB migrate. Hopefully that runs with no errors and I don't look stupid again. Rails DBC. Bam. Rails C. Okay. Now we can look at all at our Pokemon. Pokemon.all. Cool. We got some Pokemon. And then let's look at our moves, move.all. Cool. Now, the easiest way to check if your relationship is established is to, I don't know, maybe I want to see all the moves a Pokemon has, except for they only have one move. So that's only important for syntax. So what I could look up is like, I want to pull out one Pokemon. So I could do that by just grabbing the first Pokemon, Pokemon.first. And then I can look to see if I can actually check, can I figure out what its move is? And I can. What about the opposite? Can I go move dot first, and then can I do this and check out its Pokemons? It's not working. Why is that not working? Can anybody tell me why?
You need like the belongs to in the model.
So that's going to go app, models. That is there. So move, what's going to go in here?
Has many Pokemon.
And this is where you pronounce it like my middle-aged mom when I was a kid. Pokemons. She didn't realize that the plural of Pokemon was Pokemon. It's a hard concept to grasp. All right. Boom. Now let's check that again. There is a command. I have to look it up, but it's good to know. I just haven't been in Rails in a while. There's a command. So normally what I'd have to do is I'd have to close out this console and I'd have to open it back up again in order to check to see the changes that I just made. But there is, I think it's like update or something like that. No, I don't remember. Update console in Rails. There is a function. No. Well, for now, I'll just let that as something you could look into. But it is nice. If you're doing Rails a lot, it's really nice because then you can just run that command instead of like closing out your terminal and starting it again. So, but I'll
Reload exclamation point.
Reload?
Yeah, exclamation point.
Yep, I knew there was an exclamation point in there. Bam. So now what I could do is I could try move dot first dot Pokemon. Bam. Look at that. It's working now. Cool. So now we have our model working. What's the next step? We want to make an API that people can do all this shit with. What's the next step? What do I have to do?
Our CRUD function.
Yeah. So we got to fuck around with our controllers. So let's do that. Moves. What's our different? Let's say that we want to be able to index them all. So you want to see all of them. You want to do a show. You want to do a create, and you want to do a delete. Let's do all those. Okay. So what is the method for? Let's just build out the framework for them, and then we'll actually go through and build out all of the functions. So what is the function called for showing all of them?
Index.
Index. Then what's the function called for showing one of them?
Show.
You guys are doing great. And what is the one for delete?
Destroy.
Destroy.
Bam. And what is the one for create?
Create.
Create.
Yep. I realized that I said it as I said it. Cool. So now let's build these out. What's a really good tool that you guys were taught for how to test this shit? What would be a great thing to open right now? Yes. Bam. So let's open up that. Oopsies. Where'd it go? Where's my Postman? I'm trying to be like a wizard with shortcuts, but I feel like it just makes me look dumb right now because I'm not a wizard yet. Okay, so anyways, we got Postman here. Great. So first of all, I like starting my servers on 9,000. It does not matter what port you use. Just know that for me, I like starting mine on 9,000 because I'm a fucking nerd and I like Dragon Ball Z. Okay, that's it. So I'm gonna type in Rails S, and then I go P, and then 9,000. Cool. So all that I meant by that is when I go here, I can go to, this is localhost 3,000, 9,000. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that yet. 9,000, and now I'm on Rails. That's all that means. If you want to go on, you know, port P9 million, go for it. So the first thing that we're going to do is we want to create a show page. So what would be a good thing to, first of all, what should this be set to if it's just going to be a index page?
Get.
Yep. Get. And what am I going to type in here? So we're in the
Pokemons.
What?
Or yeah, slash Pokemons. Right?
Well,
or are we on
controller right now?
Move.
Moves. Cool. And what's going to go in here?
Nothing.
Nothing. Exactly. Cool. Great. Now, what are we going to put in our index function?
At moves.
Equals move dot all.
Capital.
Yep. Bam.
Render JSON at moves.
Bam. Now let's check it out. Cool, it works. Great. Let's not think too far into it. Let's do the show function. So, what do I put here? Just making it look pretty. Bam. So what do I put here?
You lost the R in render.
Oops.
Ender.
That sounds really cool. I'm not gonna lie. All right. So what do I change on here to get it to hit show?
Whatever ID you want.
Yeah.
So /1, 2, or 3.
/1, perfect. And what's gonna go in here?
At move equals move.find. And then params ID.
Params. Is it, how do I call ID from that?
So in the find parentheses,
Mhm.
so no curly braces around params, and then you do square bracket colon ID close the square bracket.
You're saying do this?
No.
I'm like
right before that. Yeah, that's
in
kind
the
of what I
curly
was.
brackets. You're saying right there. That's what I was like. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, and then
we've been using
Yeah, but I
parentheses.
think, yeah.
And then, oh yeah, I forgot to put the block parameter in there. Sorry. Right. So what goes in here?
This is a different
Just doing
syntax.
it.
This is,
Yeah. We've just been doing it like parentheses around params ID.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I forgot that you could do that. Yeah, that's a Rails. So there's a Rails function that allows you to do that a lot quicker than the way I was doing it. I was using an enumerable to iterate through all of them, and it's not efficient because Rails has this .find. And that needs to be. Rails has a .find method that comes with Rails. But that's not a Ruby thing. It's specifically a Rails thing that I just forgot about. But, okay. There, and then what's going to go here? I'll just type it for speed. Cool. At move, and let's see if it works. Boom. Great. Sweet. Next method, destroy. So what's going to go up here?
Delete.
Bam. What's key gonna be or value? Is that matter?
No.
Cool. So now what we're gonna say is we could do the same thing. Move equals move dot find params d. Bam. What's gonna go here?
At move
At move dot
Dot what?
destroy.
And then do we want to bring anything back?
You could do like
You
a
could-
message.
Yeah. Render
Yeah, I don't think it
JSON,
matters too much, but yeah, you could.
render JSON, and then curly braces, deleted move, or
Like
message, yeah, message, and then colon, and then parentheses, yeah.
Bam. Cool. Let's give it a shot. Can't delete tackle. Let's delete tail whip. Cool.
Did you set your routes yet?
We didn't do the cores yet. That's what I think it is. So
one of the Pokemon references it.
right, that is exactly what it is. That makes more sense. Constraint exception, foreign key. Good call. Who is it that said that? That sounded like Jason.
That was me.
Oh,
Nolan.
I couldn't tell. I don't know y'all at all. I'm John. By the way. Nice to meet you.
We barely know each other.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense given the circumstances. See, my cohort, we all actually kind of like knew each other because we were there, like in the beginning. We weren't there for super long.
Scope gang.
Justin, we all know Justin. Everybody knows Justin. Okay, so yeah, so we just can't delete that right now, unless we go to our seeds and then reseed it and make it so none of the moves have tail whip, just to check to see if it works. Probably not a bad idea. Rails DB. Oh, but then it's gonna. I don't feel like doing that, honestly. I think we're just gonna trust it for now, and then if it becomes a problem later, it'll become a problem later. All right, we want to create one now. So what's gonna go here? Post. Bam. Post, and then what's gonna go in here?
You need to change it to either body or.
I don't think you need to do that. I think you can just go.
Instead of the param.
What do you mean?
In Postman, you're in the query params tab.
Yeah, I think that should work fine. I don't think that'll be an issue. So I could test it, but like I know that here, watch. If I type in name, oh, I don't know why I keep writing colon. Name is gonna be is that what our attributes are? Name and power. That's what it is. Power and name earthquake. Let's just throw a bug in here to see if it works. Invalid foreign key. Oh, that's from destroy. What is going wrong here? Dispatch middleware debug exception. Weird. 404, no route matches post. Oops. 3. Oh, I have to get rid of the 3 for 1. Now we're in the bybook. So yeah, you can do it in there. The problem was I was trying to access moves and then with the ID of 3 and then create one, but you have to do it on the root, like moves. You know what I'm saying? Now, if there's a reason not to do it this way, I don't know what it is. And if you do, I definitely am open to learning. So, but I think you could do it with query params without a problem. But anyways, while you're here, then you go ahead and what am I going to be typing in here?
At move equals move.create. And then name colon and then params name. And then comma power colon params power.
Oh, wait, what am I doing? Colon params. Boom. I actually think I could just do that, right?
Yeah, unless you want to render just that one.
Yep, that's a good point. Damn. Sweet. Let's check it. Cancel that, do that, do that. And we'll send it again. Cool, it worked. And we can double check that by hopping into our console. Whoops. Earthquake. Boom. Good stuff. Cool, so we have all our things for moves. Let's just go ahead and throw them into Pokemon and refactor. Bam. Moves equal move.all. So this one will be Pokemons. I hate writing that. Pokemon.all. I'm going one at a time because I've found that if I just go ahead and highlight a ton of shit, I wind up fucking something up. So show equals.
Do you have an update method?
We could do that, but I don't think we're going to use it in our app. Pokemon.find. Oh, I didn't highlight it like I thought.
So what does your routes file look like right now?
Routes, I'll show you in a second. But so by default, the routes, which is in, oh man, I can't remember where my routes is.
It's in config.
Bam. Okay, so this resources thing, it gives access to all of the methods unless you like inhibit them for some reason, right? So all of these methods, all of them you have. For now, I won't even dig around with it. I don't think you're gonna have to during the code challenge, and I also can't remember the syntax. But like you can do like I remember there's like include and then you can specify which ones, but I don't remember the syntax for it. I think it's maybe that.
Yeah, it's like only or except. And yeah, you're doing it right. But
And then, and then the colon right before create. Yeah.
Yeah.
In there.
But for now, we'll just leave them all in there. It's really good to know that what that is and stuff.
yeah, that's a great point, because in all of the lessons they've like had to they like flip between the routes and the controller files to make sure that like everything is wired up correctly.
Yeah, and it's a good, like, I wouldn't do it during a code challenge unless there's a part of the code challenge requiring you to do it. But it's good to know that you can do that. And it's probably good practice to do that. Like, oh, I'm only going to use these, then do that. Like, by all means, what I'm doing right now is definitely not like best practice for like real world. It's just like more of past the code challenge logic. But like, yeah. Because I'm not super fresh in creating Rails APIs anyways. I was doing that weeks ago and my brain has been flooded with information and I'm not a genius yet. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. So anyways, we got all that built out. Sounds like we basically finished what we needed to do. We could check. Let's at least check to see what's going on with our Pokemon, right? Let's just do a get. Pokemons. Do that. Cool. So we got our Pokemon. One. Cool. We can do create, or let's do a, no, I don't want to delete anything. I'm just too lazy for that. We'll do that later. We'll do a, I have this like incredible satisfaction when I see that the ID is actually 1 and not like 25 starting out. I don't know why my brain really prefers to see it that way. It's really no advantage. In fact, if anything, there's probably an advantage to not doing it that way, because then you make sure you're not writing your code erroneously and that it's actually searching for the ID, but we'll do that still. So anyways, we want to make sure we create one. So let's go here. We're going to go to post. And then our Pokemon properties are name. And then we're going to need one for like power ID, which, by the way, I just realized that our methods are not perfect. So probably a good thing we did that, because these params are not the same. So Pokemon.create, name, params, name will work fine, but power, we're going to actually have to find. So power equals, or I think there's a way to just type in the ID. I think you could actually just type in this. You can go power ID and then params power ID, but I'm not 100% sure, so let's check it.
Move ID, John.
What?
You've got power ID, and then in your postman it says move ID.
You're right. I told you I was going to make that mistake again. Oh, well, that's not a return from anything, but it should be move. Yeah, it definitely should be move. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so let's see. Name, coughing, move ID, tackle. Coughing does not know tackle. Nidoran knows tackle. What the heck? Okay. Damn, let's try it out. Cool, so it worked, great. Hallelujah. Okay, so now we have, is there anything else that would be messed up from refactoring? I think we're good. So now we have a full back end. What do you guys think? Do you want to do a 20-minute break or keep crunching along?
Then we keep going.
All right, let's just keep going then. Fuck it. Cool, so we have our back end. And I'm going to close that out for now. I shouldn't have closed it that way. I should just move it to my other screen to where y'all can't see it. Cool. Now we're going to open up in our terminal. I'm going to open up the front end that I created. Code. I thought I created a front end. Oh. I even called it Pokemon Power Party instead of Pokemon Move Party. Just throwing that out there. Code. So now we've got. Are you guys having like rendering issues? Can you guys hear me? I hear like some glitchy stuff going on.
Good.
Cool. Okay. So now let's make an index.html. So I do index.js, but everybody else seems to do app.js. So we could do that. And start with that. Cool. So let's just start it off with that. Bam. Assuming y'all know that shortcut. If you don't, type in the fucking exclamation mark. Here, we're gonna want to call it Pokemon Power Party. Here we're gonna go. Let's go H1. Whoopsie daisies. Power Party. Cool, let's start it up. Light server. Huzzah. Great. Bam, bam. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. So now I want to find this guy. Shrink it a little. Perfect. So now we're here. We want to get some Pokemon on the page. And we want to do it with JavaScript. Cool. And we also want to make sure, okay, so I remember some stuff about the code challenge now. So one of the things is that we're going to have to put a form on there where you can create a new Pokemon. Okay, so I honestly forgot how to do forms because it's been forever. So I'm just going to Google one and refactor it. Yep. Isn't there a bunch of headers you can put on there? Form.
I guess Justin's in the waiting room too.
Justin is in the waiting room. Let me figure that out real quick. Meeting. Oh, I can't remember where I did that from. Yeah, I definitely got to change the settings next time because this is too annoying. I just don't know. Manage participants. There we go. There we go. Cool. So we're going to need a form. And inside of there, we're going to have our inputs. Right. Text. And let's say we have Pokemon name. Let's call it name. Oh yeah, I think you could just type in name Man. Probably should have done a practice run before this meeting. We're gonna need to close that out. Input types are self-closing, right?
We actually haven't gotten to this stuff yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think I said we're supposed to do it on Monday.
Input types are self-closing.
It's been a while since I've done one of these this way. Oh yeah, you could do a label. That's what it is. So, label. And then this references the ID. So I can go for name. And then I'm just going to say input Pokemon name. Bam. Yeah, I think input is self-closing. And this goes miserably bad. Please forgive me. Input type. Oh, whoops. So we're going to need Pokemon name, and then we're going to need a move, right? So instead, what we're going to do, we're going to want to populate our moves from the actual like back end, right? So in other words, it's simpler to set it up. Someone is crackling. Can everybody make sure that they're muted, please? But yeah, so one way that you can kind of set it up that's a little bit easier is where you have a drop-down menu, and in your drop-down menu, you select which move you want, so that way there's no errors of, oh, I tried to create this Pokemon with a move that doesn't exist, right? So if you have a drop-down menu, you can't just input a name wrong. I just can't remember how to do that, so we're gonna figure that out as we go. So input Pokemon name. I'm Googling how to make drop-down form in HTML. I think it's just a type thing. Jeez, I cannot remember for the life of me. You can try this one, see what happens. Just out of curiosity. Let's just see where that pops up. Nothing. Why is that not working? Oh. You have to do, that's weird. Input, list. That's not working. I wish I could remember how to do this. I apologize, guys. This is what it is. It's select. Okay, there we go. Sorry. There's a select menu is what you're looking for, or what I've used at least. Select. This one we're going to call moves. I don't think you need to worry about size. And so we can either, for now, what we'll do is we'll put in like our actual moves. Let's say tackle, scratch, and then we're going to say, what's the other move? Tail whip. Cool. So for now, just to keep trucking along, we'll put it in as that, and later we'll make this so that way this populates from the back end using a fetch call. Cool. So as you can see, we have those. I need to change it in here too. Sorry. Tackle, scratch. And tail whip. And now it's time to get some shit from the back end. So to do that, the first thing that we got to do is link out the tag. So we do that with a script tag. Script, and then can't remember if it's source or href, but I think it's source. And then we're going to say app.js. Bam. So all that I'm doing is I'm linking the HTML file to the HTML file, the HTML file to the JavaScript file. So now one thing I like to do to just check it. Boom. So let's go ahead and do that. Oops. There it goes. It's running slow. There's something wrong with the tag.
I think you need a defer in there if you have it in the head.
Yeah, that is correct. I forget the syntax for defer. It's defer. It's something equals defer. I just can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Let's see.
So I think it's
Yeah, you just type in defer right here. That's it.
Yeah.
Bam. But there is also some tag that's in my thing that's fucked up, and I don't know which one. It looks like, oh, maybe not. Okay, well, it's working. Great. So next thing that we want to do is, so who can tell me why I'm adding an event listener here and what the event is going to be? So what I do here is I want to make sure that all the stuff on the page loads before I actually make this fetch call. So I just type in this thing that says add event listener. And then I guess you guys haven't done any of this yet, and that's totally fine. And that's one of the things that's like about mod 2. So what an event listener is doing is it's literally just waiting for it's just waiting for like certain things to happen. So an event listener could listen for a click of like a button. It could be waiting for a keystroke on a computer. This is a specific event that's called DOM content loaded. Whoopsie daisies. DOM content loaded. And what DOM content loaded means, the way that this page works is that it first will run through the JavaScript code, right? And when actually I lied, I don't need this. I don't need the DOM content loaded because of where it's at, but I'm gonna put it in there anyways. And then what it does is it's basically saying, okay, when has all this HTML ran through? And when all of the HTML run through, it triggers this event listener, and then this event happens. So for now, I don't think you need to know like a whole lot about it. I think it's more of just know that it's a thing. You're gonna learn more about it soon. And it's pretty common to put your fetch calls in here. And the way that they work is the first thing is the event that you're talking about. And then the next thing is the function that you're gonna do. So here we could say like populate page. I can't fucking type apparently. I'm gonna put that there.
So is DOM content loaded a tag that's doing something, or is that just like a string that's making like things easier for you to understand in the developer tools?
DOM content loaded is not just a random string. DOM content loaded, like if I were to type click here, just to show you, let's say I'm calling this click, and then let's say like console.log clicked. And you have to add an event listener to a thing. So let's say we want to figure out a thing in HTML. You do it like this: document dot query selector. And then, oh, whoops. And then you're gonna go by, so let's say I want to pull out, like, what would be smart to do is to make a section in your HTML, like let's call this, we're gonna make it section ID equals show stuff, show Pokemon, right? Bam. So now what I could do is, well, first I guess I should do it with one that's already easy to see. Let's do H1, right? I'll go H1. Bam. So what that's going to do is actually going to just select H1, and then document.query selector.h1, and we could set this equal to something. So we could say const header equals that, and now that's just basically telling JavaScript that this header, or that the first thing that shows up with an H1 tag is going to be this variable here. So now I can type in, I want to add an event listener to header, and then we're going to say console.log clicked. Why is it doing that? Is it on click? Why is it console logging it? That's weird.
Don't you need to be in the console window?
No. So this is your console right here, your dev tools. Do you know how to pull up your dev tools? What?
I didn't see it down there, sorry.
Yeah. So this is a really good thing to learn is your dev tools. This is gonna like save your life. It's basically like, so this is you can write like basic JavaScript in here. Like I could say const a equals 5. Oh, whoops. And then just do like console.log a, or const b equals 6. Console.log a plus b. You know, you can just do regular coding in here. You know what I'm saying? And also your console is where stuff is getting run. So if you log anything to your console, it's going to show up here. What I don't understand is why this is happening that way. I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to get it to where when I click this, it's logging it, but it's not fucking working for some reason. I wonder if I have to make a function. I think that's what I have to do. Click. And then I could define a function. Click, and then all that click is going to do is, whoops. Why is that still running? Oh, it's because I have header. Wait, something's going, I think it might be because that's a reserved word. Wow. It is not doing what I want it to do, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's not the right word. Click event listener. Click. Super click. Well, now I just feel dumb.
Hey, can you go back to your index HTML for like 1 second?
Yeah. What are you curious about?
I'm getting some errors on the defer. I don't know if I put it in the right spot or not.
Yeah, I think you just put it right there. You just put script and then defer. I Googled it, so I don't do that often. Well, let me do this. I didn't exactly prepare for the front end part. How about in an hour? I'll try and do all this myself so I could debug it all without looking like a total dumbass. And then I'll start another video, and that'll be good because then I won't have a 2-hour-long video anyways, unless it's already 2 hours, in which case, fuck. I don't know how long this meeting has been going for. I'm gonna pause the recording. Stop.